Hi everyone, Janie here, and it's been a long time since I've done a product review, and recently I was making a card and I was using a We Are Memory Keepers Next Level embossing folder, and I thought, you know what? This is something I really want to do a review on. So let's head on over and take a look. For my review, I'm going to be using this We Are Memory Keepers Next Level embossing folder set. It's called Wave, and it comes with 2 embossing folders. The one I'm going to be using today is this one right here, which has kind of a quilted, puffy design to it. And I also have another one that I've never even opened yet. And I got these about a year ago, and I couldn't store them with my other embossing folders because of the size, so I stored them somewhere else and forgot about them. But the other day I came across it and I thought, oh, I really want to make a card with this. This is so cool, and I know just the cardstock I want to use. I was using this cardstock from Paper Temptress and couldn't wait to use it. But I was a little disappointed, and let me show you why. Here are the directions that came with it, and I'm going to be doing it according to the directions, which are the same as any directions for using an embossing folder from what I can tell. I don't see anything special on here, anything to take away or anything to add in order to use this. Okay, I started with my Cuttlebug. I have the piece of cardstock in the embossing folder. I'm using the A plate and the 2B plates, just like you do any other time you're using an embossing folder. Placing that in between the 2B plates, again, just like you do anytime you emboss. And it won't go. And I'm afraid of breaking it. So I thought, okay, maybe it's just me. Let's head on over and try my cut and emboss, which is electric. And that will work, right? Okay, here I am at my cut and emboss, and I have the required plates for embossing all put together. I have the embossing folder in there, and I am turning on my machine. And now I am trying to put this through there. And I am giving it a little shove, but I don't want to push too hard. And when I let go, it just spits it right back out again. So I'm going to wait till the motor stops running, and then I'm going to give this one more try. So here we go. Again, giving it a little bit of a push and letting it go. Is it going through? No, it is not. It is spitting it right back out again. It's rejecting it because it just won't work. Okay, we saw that the cut and emboss didn't work, so I thought maybe if I just don't use that B plate and just put this on the base, the A, and add 1B, maybe that's going to work. And oh, wait a minute, it just rolls right through and does absolutely nothing. And so now I'm going to try layering shims on here. Little things that I can use for shims. So let me see. I'll start with one. So this is just a piece of cardboard. And I put that on there, the embossing folder, and the A plate. And I'm thinking maybe that will work. So let me get this all lined up here. And whoa, it's not going to do anything. I mean, it's not that it won't go through. It's just that it's not doing anything. It's not catching at all. So I said, well, let's try another one. So I put another piece of cardboard under there. I'm thinking eventually this has to work since, I mean, a B plate isn't that thick. And so, maybe it just needs a couple of shims. And woo, it just spins. It doesn't do anything. Trust me, it's not doing anything. Actually, it's been through there a couple of times, right? I'll just show you here. Nothing. Not a thing. Okay. So now I thought, well, let's see what else I have to add in here. So I happen to have these magnetic sheets. And I thought, let's do that. Let's add a magnetic sheet. I mean, that's, a little bit thicker. So we've got a magnetic sheet and 2 pieces of cardboard. We're going to put it back through again. And what do we get? Well, this one actually felt like maybe it's doing something. Whoops, knocked something over there. Okay, so let's take a look. Did it do something? Let's open this up. And it did a little bit, which is better than the other day when I did this. So, maybe it's getting better. But here's the best results. Now I have in 2 magnetic sheets, 2 pieces of cardboard, and the embossing folder. And now let's put it through, because this is what I had to do, yesterday. And there we go. Now that one felt like it was working, and especially since this is supposed to give deep embossing, and as you saw when I showed you a second ago, it did a little bit of embossing, but it didn't do any deep embossing. It didn't give that pillow effect. So now let's take a look and see what we've got. And there we go. Now we have a really nice deep pillow effect, but I had to go through all of this to make it work. And I think it should have worked just as easily as any other embossing folder. Okay, here I am back at my cut and emboss, and this time I'm using a thinner cardstock, and I'm going to give this a try. So we've got it turned on, and let's see what happens. Okay, it's stopping, but I'm trying to give it a little bit of a push there to make it go, so it's still struggling, even with a thinner cardstock on it, but with a little help, we got it to work. So let's see what happens. So this piece of cardstock actually went through the way it was supposed to. It is flimsy cardstock, and it was still a really tough fit, but it did go through using the correct plates. This one, however, is the one that I had to use the shims and only one of the plates, and it's a sturdier cardstock, and this is actually what I prefer. But if you don't mind and you like using flimsy cardstock, then I think that embossing folder will work just right for you. But for me and what I do, it did not work for me. So this is just my personal review from my personal experience. Just to show you, here's the same cardstock that I used in the other one. And I'm going to put it in this embossing folder. See if I can get it in there nicely. And I'm going to run it through the Cuttlebug. And I'm just using the 2B plates and the A plate, nothing else, no shims or no removing the second plate or anything. I'm doing it just the way that it's supposed to be done, and it goes through easily, just like that, and embosses beautifully, just like that. Thank you all for watching, and please remember that this review is based on my own personal experience and my own personal opinions. And I'm going to be doing another review in the very near future on Paper Temptress cardstock. So be watching for that, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.